So welcome to a new vlog. How are you? I'm doing okay myself. Thanks for asking. So I actually just got done getting ready. I've been just listening to my friend on Marco Polo. If you guys don't have that app, you definitely need it. It's amazing. Like, it's kind of like FaceTime, but also kind of like Snapchat, but also maybe even sort of kind of like YouTube. I don't know how to explain it. Bit of hill, so I'm very proud of myself for that. That makes me really just excited. I don't know, I remember a few months ago when I can only do a minute and 16 seconds. So I'm gonna get up and walk. I'm not sure how much you guys are gonna see, but I also have my little stopwatch thing here, and yeah, so I'm just gonna do an unedited version of me walking. So I'm about to press start when I go to stand up, and yeah, so let's do this. Okay, I was gonna make a part 2 of the other video, but I just felt I was still uploading part 1, and I have been watching, I follow a couple people, and I was watching an update. I was following AmberLynn Reid. I found her through Willow Davis. So don't remember how I found Willow Davis. It just popped up as a suggestion, and sometimes I look at suggestions, and I watched him. I found that he was constantly always talking about this girl, and then I started watching her videos. Whoa, cat! Hey! Good grief. Anyways, and something drew me to Willow Davis. You know, I like his personality about some things. I don't agree with a lot of things, but it's part of entertainment. You just watch people who entertain you one way or another, or just because you're curious. And then I got onto her. Then I started watching her because, honestly, there's a lot in common between me and her. I may not like a lot of her content, but because it's her life, it interests me. I watch a lot of things that aren't really happy or funny or that entertaining per se to most, but I will watch it because I prefer to watch reality. I like learning. I like knowing everything. So that is one reason I have, watched hers. And it has nothing to do with my beliefs. I'm raised, certain ways. I may not support a lot of things she does, but as far as personality, a lot of things in common with me and her. One of them being weight. And I swear, if you don't quit coming by here, cat, you're going to be grounded, okay? Grounded. I have a new kitten, and she's just wild. She does not get attention, I swear to God. Anyway, so I was watching her videos, and there's a common thing I see a lot, and it is a lot of stuff that I hear, but if you've watched any of my videos, you have learned that I was raised around adults. I'm very much an old soul. People think I'm a young kid at heart, and I am, but I'm a kid at heart, but I respond to a lot of things in life as an adult would because I was raised around adults. Yet I always saw the best in things, so that brings out the kid in me about a lot of things. Anyways, but growing up a hyper child who is super shy, the awkward one because I laughed loud and things, I was picked on a lot. I was also growing faster than, let me pause this while the clock goes off. I finished chewing my eyes. I have a cat clock that is annoying. I'm going to cut that out for y'all. So anyway, I was picked on a lot. I grew faster than most girls because it ends up, ta-da, I'm a tall person who was actual big bone, and I used to think that was just what fat people claim to be. But looking back at photos, I realize now I wish I knew what I was back then versus always being told I'm fat and believing people. It finally occurred to me when I used to meet people who would be about my height or my build and would be like 100 pounds different from me or 50 pounds different from me. And and then finally, I once thought about joining the Navy, and they actually measured my wrist and neck and everything and realized I was big bone. So apparently it's a thing. Anyways, so that explains why throughout my childhood I had boobs before certain people. I had thick thighs before certain people. I was wearing my mom's size clothes while other kids were wearing kids' clothes. You know, I was just tall and I already had big feet. And anyway, so I've been picked on a lot, but I learned to mentally handle it. I mean, I'm not perfect. I did let some things get to me, but for the most part, I learned how to stand up for myself. I learned how to not let things bother me and just brush it off. But what I can't stand is people who I'm constantly seeing on Amber's videos. She's trying to lose weight. I myself am 394 pounds I weighed yesterday. My highest was 409. It's a struggle. When I was younger, I had energy. I hadn't felt a lot yet, and I wasn't as old as I am. Oh my God, child, please stop. You're going to be grounded, I swear. Anyways, back then I had better bones, better energy, and I could bounce back. And when I would gain some weight, if I felt uncomfortable, I could just go ride my bike or jump on my trampoline and lose 50 pounds in less than 2 months. But now it's become a thing where it is so much harder. It's a mental struggle. And when you reach a certain weight and a certain age and you have had certain damages to your body because you fell, if you're like me in your klutz, I've fallen so many times, tripped over my own feet, hit my hip, and ended up being in bed. Now I'm gaining weight because I'm lethargic and I'm not moving, I'm healing, and it being that bad that it's hurting my body. About broke my ankle and tore some tendons. Now I'm bedridden on crutches for several weeks, and because you don't have money to go to the doctor, and even if you did, you're still gonna have to do physical therapy, which I started doing myself because I mean I'm not dumb. I know I gotta do physical therapy if I want to continue to walk. So as I get older, I don't heal as quick. I've now been injured 100 times. That's just the cards I've been dealt with. And you gain weight the more you get injured and the more you're in bed. And the more that you're not exercising. My problem was not really ever overeating. My problem was over drinking. I drank sweet tea all day. I did. 90% of my calories came from drinking sweet tea, honestly. And then the rest came from calories. I'm not burning them, so I'm just, keeping every single one. And then there was a period of time where I was working late nights, and then I would go to bed right after I eat. So that's not healthy. So then you get to this point where you gain so much weight that it affects your mind, and now you're becoming depressed. And now that you're becoming depressed, you don't want to be active even more. And it's kind of getting to where I'm not agoraphobic yet, but it triggers my anxiety. I've always been anxious about a lot of things as a kid. If I couldn't find something, it would tear up my stomach, physically affect me. But the heavier I get, the more depressed I get from not being out, not being active. It's like a circle. It becomes a struggle to lose. Used to it would be nothing to lose 50 pounds. But now it's trying to get myself to be motivated to do it. And I have to keep stopping and coming back. So if my position has changed or if things look different, sorry. I had to erase a lot of memory because my phone's running out of room. I've got one phone uploading a video, so I'm trying to use an older phone that I do nothing with except for record stuff occasionally. But it even is almost full. So anyway, I'm going to try to get this out before it cuts me off again. So anyway, getting back to I stood up for myself. And then I said, oh, I was talking about, I know what it takes to get motivated, what it takes for me to be motivated. I know myself, and I know that what works for me is if I have someone right there with me, going through it with me, and it can't be like a stranger, not someone that's not personal to me, because I don't know why, but when you're in that moment, you want someone that you know that is struggling with you. And if I don't have, and usually that person's going to be my husband or like my best friend, but my best friend, other than my husband's in Alabama, so it would take my husband doing it with me. Since he works so much, it's just, I have no drive to go to lose weight. Obviously, if the doctor was like, you're going to die today if you don't start, that it would hit me in a way that would probably make me want to do something. But since no one's come out and just said that, it's not like I don't know that I'm not at risk of a heart attack. Anyway, with all that being said, I know the struggles that someone, with weight, even though every one of us, most people do gain weight from overeating. There are some of us who don't. But regardless of why a person is obese or why a person is getting thick or why a person is getting fat, no matter what their BMI, no matter why they got to where they are, the point of this whole video is once they get to that point, and usually trolls only pick on the more obese people for some reason. Once they get to that point that they're so obese and they're becoming lethargic like me and they're losing their drive, they're becoming depressed and they're stuck in this circle and they're stuck in this cycle, you get stuck at home and you don't really want to go anywhere. Like I said, I work from home, so I don't go anywhere as it is unless he's off on Sunday. Then I might go somewhere with him, and I don't mind going somewhere as long as he's with me. But I get anxious if like I need to do something. I'll just put it off and put it off and put it off because I don't want to go somewhere by myself. It just stresses me out. It has nothing to do with the weight. It just has become a mental thing to be stressed out and to be in the public around people because of my anxiety slash no patience. So once you understand this and you're getting stuck in this circle, I can stand up to myself if I have a troll. But when I see other people getting picked on, it pisses me off because even though they can stand up for themselves, even though they may be shoving it off and, dusting it off their shoulder, even though it may not bother them, it bothers me to see that instead of supporting someone, you don't know who is strong and who isn't. And even if you think someone's strong, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with being a snowflake or not, or feelings or not. It boils down to being negative or positive to society. Do you have something positive to offer or something negative to offer? Are you being moral or are you being immoral? Whether it's religious related or not, I'm talking about the power of positivity and negativity morals. When someone is struggling, no matter how little of something good that they do, like her video that she just posted. She went and did a 3-minute walk. To most people, I get it. That's not much. But when you are in my or her shoes and you've lost your muscle that supports your back to help you stand up long enough to walk, when you've gotten stuck in this damn rut that it takes everything in you to get yourself to be motivated, to want to go outside in the first place, to go walk for 3 minutes in the first place, out in the heat or in the cold or whatever weather, when you finally get to yourself mentally prepared to do one little thing, to have people sit there and shit on you, it's negative. It doesn't help her. It doesn't help her be motivated. It doesn't help anybody on God's green earth to be motivated. If you have nothing positive to say, just keep scrolling. When people come on YouTube, they're stuck at home like me or her. A lot of times we just reach out because we want to do like a journal of our lives. That's what I do. We want to share our life with people. We just want people who might be struggling with us to go to see what we're going through. If we want your opinion, And honestly, if we do want your opinion, the time for that opinion for you to be negative is when we say, what do you think about this? And now insert your opinion. Until then, it is just mainly a video for you to watch and to either be entertained or to learn from or to be nosy for. Maybe we're just sharing our life with you. But either way, if you don't have anything positive to say, just mind your manners. Just don't add. It's one thing if it's a parody or a comedy or a product trial, but it's another when it's a struggle in life and someone is struggling mentally or physically or emotionally. If you're not helping support the small things, I'm not asking you to support bad habits, but when you see someone post that they've done something that's good, no matter how small it is, either be positive and support it because that encourages us and makes us feel good and want to do more, or just be quiet. Because when when we're already negative on ourselves and we're already shitting on our own personalities and in our head, we're sitting there going, you could have done more, you could have done this, and you could have done that, and I can't believe you're doing this, and I can't. We're already doing that to ourselves. And when you're negative on top of it to us, mind you, thousands and thousands upon people watching are being negative on top of you as well, it makes you just not want to do more. It makes you want to just not even share your life. It brings you down. Here you are, you're stuck at home, no one to really talk to except for your significant other if they're not at work or if they're not busy. So if they are busy, you're reaching out, you're sharing your life, only to find out that the majority of the people they don't like you. They don't want to see you make it. They want to comment negatively and not support you. And it's only those few little people that support you that help get you by. So I want to ask people, either be positive when someone's doing something good or scroll on. There's a time and a place for everything. If someone's got cancer and they're sharing their story, you don't shit on them about how they're losing their hair. You don't shit on them about the chemo or about them losing weight or about them throwing up. You don't critique them during their struggle, whether they caused it upon themselves or not. Someone who needs support, that is the time to be positive. If you are negative and you can't help but be that petty human, please just shut your mouth, because you are part of the problem if you are not part of the solution. And I promise you, you are probably one of those people who want to shit on someone. And the thing is, a lot of people who are obese, they won't share their story until they've actually made it, if they make it, because they know that they don't want to be brought down until they finish. Then they'll put their story out, because then it won't matter if someone shits on them or not for being fat, because they've already lost the weight. A lot of people will do that. They'll upload their story later. But the ones who are uploading their story now, day by day, struggling now, day by day, in the moment, the best thing you can do is, no matter how little of an accomplishment it is, and no matter how stupid it is to you, for it to be something that should come natural for you, it may not for us. For us, it may be a struggle, and you don't know the story behind why it's such a struggle. I know for me, being hurt so many times, falling, getting hit, my chair broke, hit my hip, it got infected. Things that have helped put me back in my bed for days, only getting up to wash dishes or to feed the dogs or to let them out to pee, and then I would get right back in bed. Only getting up to do the essentials like taking a bath or pottying. You lose muscle, but you're trying to heal. But while you're healing, you're losing muscle. And a lot of those muscles, again, are important to holding our fat asses up. And when we try to go back and build muscle, it is a big ordeal to walk and not be out of breath and stand up longer than 3 damn minutes. It's a fucking struggle. And it is not any help of y'all to sit there and shit and laugh at something that you know nothing about. And since you know nothing about it, please keep your mouth shut. Unless you have been obese yourself and been there and you've gone through it, don't judge someone on something you have no knowledge of. You're just a troll then. You have become non-supportive to society emotionally. I just want to tell AmberLynn Reid, you're not alone. There are plenty of us fat asses out there with you. Again, I'm almost 400 pounds. My highest was 409. My husband's almost 500. He's 6'6". I'm 5'11". I struggle with this a lot. You're doing more than me. I don't even go out to my neighborhood street and walk. I just refuse. It's become a big thing that now if I lay on the floor, which I tried on a yoga mat, my back locked up. I was down for 3 days. My back was that bad out. I'm not the kind that runs to the doctor every time something's wrong with me just for them to tell me your back's out. So I physically just have to lay in bed and I have to try to move and stretch and let it go back into place and ice it and everything. But I want you to know, you're not alone. I myself am trying to lose weight. I'm not stupid. It was so simple for me to quit smoking cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes since I was 17 up till 2011. I smoked for years, over 7 years. And I moved to Texas, said it's too fucking hot. I don't smoke indoors. I smoke outside. I don't smoke in my car. I said, I can't do this. I quit. And I tell you, it's like a drug. People will say, oh, it's just easy for you because you weren't addicted. No, you're wrong. I was addicted. I love menthols. I absolutely, especially Marlboro Smooths. It tasted like Andy's Mints. I loved them. And there's something about being on the porch, rocking in a chair, minding your business, enjoying the day. I never quit thinking about them, even though that's over 8 years ago. I think about them every day. There are days that I dream that I have started back smoking, and then I wake up panicked because I think, God, I just wasted 8 years for nothing. So it does still haunt me. So I'm not stupid. You know, it was so simple to just drop that like a bad habit, which it was. But yet for me, it is so hard for me to quit drinking sweet tea or to eat 3 meals a day. I can't do it. I physically have slowed down my metabolism. I don't eat breakfast because I started gagging. The older I get, the more I gag. I had to swap from milk to almond milk. Then I just got to where I didn't even drink it at all. And then I became an insomniac from if you don't eat enough to feed your body throughout the day, you lose a whole lot of energy and you take naps all day. And then it gets to a period over a year or two of doing that you become this insomniac that can never sleep. And you run off 3 to 4 hours of sleep a day. So then it got to where I'm home alone. I don't want to make myself lunch. I'm too lazy to do it now because I have no one to make lunch for me. I was making his lunch. Now he just takes salads. But the only time we eat now is I eat lunch. I mean, my husband takes a shake for breakfast. He'll eat a salad for lunch, so there I don't have to make anything. And then we both eat dinner together, which usually for him is a salad. But since salads tear me up, so I'll do it for a little while, but then I get aggravated that I'm constantly running to the bathroom. It tears my system up, and I'll be back and forth for an hour, and I have to drink pounds of like Pepto-Bismol or something, and it just gets ridiculous. So I've gotten where I'm like right now on this, no, I'm not doing salads anymore. So what I've had to start doing is when I start getting hungry at night, because it's the final time I finally eat a meal, I just started sleeping through it, and I'll just go to bed instead of eating dinner, and it'll make me so hungry in the morning that I'm finally eating breakfast. So that's what I'm doing for the past few days, and so far it's working. It seems to be better on my system anyway, because it's better to eat in the morning than, of course, to eat at night and sleep on it. So that's what I'm going to try for now, and I have lost 15 pounds in the past almost 2 months, which it sucks because back in the day, again, I could do 5 minutes of exercise, but that's back when I could lay on the floor. And now if I want to do exercise, I have to lay in the bed and do sit-ups or something because at this point I've gotten so heavy and so broken down and my joints are so bad that if you do longer than 2 or 3 minutes exercise, you're just doing more damage to your body from your joints and from the weight and all that. You start swelling, and then you're going to go lay down because you hurt and you're swollen. So at this point, the only good exercises are in a pool, which you're not going to lose weight because you can't sweat, but it does build muscle. So you can do pool for muscle or you can ride on a bike if you get a big enough seat for your tailbone to support your butt, because it takes all the weight off your joints. You can do the bike or a row machine, and I don't have a row machine. My gym's like 20 minutes down the road, and I'm not going to go by myself, so at this point, if I do any exercise, it's going to be in the bed. Other than that, I might get up and down out of my chair and do squats or something, but I can't do it long, like I said, or my legs start swelling, especially since I am still healing from falling in the middle of July. I hurt myself really bad and messed up my knee, and I kind of think I fractured something, but I didn't go to the doctor because I didn't want to spend all the money just to them to tell me I fractured something, so I'm just treating it like I did fracture it. I've been, keeping it straight as possible, elevating it, icing it for the longest time, and now my skin's actually finally healed about 2 weeks ago, and still feels like something's in there, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, I myself am struggling with weight, and I know that I try to stay positive. I'm my own worst enemy, but the mama inside of me kicks in, and I just want to stand up for others, whether or not they're standing up for themselves, and I hate when I see negativity. So that was my message for today, and I hope if anybody was struggling with weight today, saw this message, that you don't stop. No matter how much crap people talk, just don't. It's better to do one small tiny ass thing for 30 seconds than to do nothing. So no matter how shitty people get, just do something. You're gonna be your own worst enemy. You know what you're supposed to do. You know when you're doing it wrong. Just all I can say is to keep trying. Just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, and that's all you can do. You just take it day by day like I am, and that's it. So I'll talk to y'all later.